I can only imagine what it was like winning, say, the league or the Champions League last season. I think it's the best place to be for a young player. My main target is just to always come in with a positive spirit and give 100% every day.
Oscar, great to see you and thanks so much for your time as always. Obvious place to start with you is to ask you about the summer tour to Asia. How enjoyable an experience was that for you?
Yeah, it was a great experience, different atmosphere, the amount of fans, it was so sick, so good, and a great experience.
How much do you think you learnt from training and playing out in Japan and South Korea? As you say, completely different environment to playing in Europe?
Yeah, I think, of course, it was a bit different. It's with the best group ever, so a bit hotter than usual, but yeah, it was good.
What was the experience like for you playing in such amazing stadiums over there? And as you say, the sort of turnout from fans was incredible too, wasn't it, to see the popularity of the club out there?
Yeah, especially after last season and what was accomplished then. It was crazy, I think, even in the game against like Bayern Munich, historically a very big club, I'd say there was a lot more City fans. In the stadium, it felt like, not playing at home, but it felt like the crowd was behind the team.
And for you to experience playing in games of that magnitude, I mean, that must have been a real career highlight so far for you.
Yeah, 100% playing against some great players and obviously with the best, so I really enjoyed it and something to build on.
Talking of the best, can you just mention what it's been like so far working under Pep Guardiola and Pep's coaching staff? I mean, that must be an absolutely amazing experience for a young player like yourself.
Yeah, it is. The intensity, the focus on detail, it's amazing, and I think you learn a lot, develop without even realising it. Yeah, I think that's how he keeps his teams winning.
Are there any sort of specific things that you think you've already picked up from Pep, and maybe things he's said to you, or little bits of guidance or advice that you've received?
I think even technically it's small details like my body positioning, how I take my first touch, how I can use, like you see Phil between the lines, for example, how he gets his body facing forward straight away when he gets the ball. Small things like that, which coaching staff is great at always giving me tips and helping me improve on. Yeah, I'd say mainly that, but in general I think it's just mentally being focused every day and picking up everything you can.
And equally, I mean, it must be absolutely fantastic to be playing alongside and learning from arguably the best squad in the world.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I think it's the best place to be for a young player that wants to learn.
Have any of the guys in particular sort of giving you any bits of advice or help, or perhaps taking you to one side and had little words with you, maybe?
I mean, Erling, fellow Norwegian, he's very nice, helps me a lot. He's a great guy to get or to take advice from, so of course little bits here and there, and that's helped me a lot.
And I just wondered also, given how young you are and the fact that you've come through our academy, whether you've had time to speak to people like Rico and Phil in terms of they've gone on a similar journey, just to get their insight and their experiences and how it can help you.
I mean, I've seen like up close all of Rico's journey in a way. I've been speaking to him throughout the last couple of years, and it's been great seeing him become one of the best young talents in the world. Phil as well. Yeah, it's been great to see their journeys and what's taken them to where they've got.
And it must be inspirational for someone like you to know that they've laid down that career path and that the opportunities are there if you carry on making the progress that you have done.
Yeah, I think it's a great example for everyone in the academy that it's possible, and yeah, that's what you work for all those years that me and all the others have spent in the academy.
This time last year, obviously, you were such a central part of the EDS side.
Yeah.
I just wonder if you can sort of describe what the main differences are between operating with the EDS and now being embedded within the first team squad. Are there any things that really stand out for you?
Of course, without disrespecting the academy, it's a different world over there where everything is set up for the players to perform at their best level, and you kind of have no excuses to not be 100% ready and be 100% at all times, because everything is set up perfectly for you. But as well, the demand is very high from coaching staff, physios, sports science, nutritionists. Everything has to be on point. Whereas in the academy, obviously, you're younger, still developing, a bit more immature. It's not as strict in a way. which can be good, but I think being over there is great.
Now obviously we're only sort of still in August, but we've already got our first trophy of the season, having won the UEFA Super Cup. Got to ask you, I mean, what was the experience of going out to Athens, being part of the squad? How can you describe that?
No, it was great. I mean, being in the change room, just the general feeling of being part of that winning squad. Me, myself, I'm new to the group obviously, but also seeing Josko and Cover, how have they just gone into the group and straight away they've made the team better, if they can become better. And
how memorable was it to be part of the squad, to receive your first winner's medal and then to take part in the celebrations in the dressing room? That's special moments.
It was special, definitely, but yeah, I can only imagine what it was like winning, say, the league or the Champions League last season.
But I guess having an experience like that, Oscar, just makes you even more determined to carry on learning and improving and try and repeat that in the future.
Yeah, I was speaking to Maka and we were saying, like, wow, imagine, obviously it was great being there, but imagine being a guy that plays this full game. Must be the best feeling ever, so that's what you strive for.
I mean, obviously, again, we're very early in the season, but already can you tell that you're developing and improving with what you've learned so far?
Yeah, I think mentally, more than anything, it's great. You have to be stronger mentally, and I feel like I am becoming that. Physically as well, it's a big challenge playing with men, of course. So yeah, I would say so. Just
looking ahead, for yourself, have you set yourself any specific targets or goals in terms of what you want to try and achieve this season?
My main target is just to always come in with a positive spirit and give 100% every day, because in this environment, that's what will help me develop. And if I give my all and try to show my talent from the best side, I'm sure there will be opportunities. I'm not too focused on, say, number of games I want to play or whatever, but I think just that always being in a good mood and being willing to learn, that will give me opportunities.
One Academy product to another. Oscar Bobb comes on to make his City debut.
Oscar, we sat down with you a month ago to talk about your move over to the first team and your experiences on tour in Asia over the summer. Of course, you've now had your first taste of Premier League action, coming on against Fulham and West Ham. How did that feel?
It was great. It was a dream come true, lifelong dream. I was extremely proud, but in the moment I was just focused and excited.
Did you get any words of wisdom from anyone at the club before coming on for your Premier League debut? I mean, obviously Pep was away.
Juanma, Inigo, Carlos Vicente, they all instructed me on what they wanted me to do, what my role was, and really helped me coming prepared onto the pitch.
Obviously our fans love to see an academy player coming through to the first team and making their senior debut. Is it a special feeling in particular coming on at the Etihad?
Oh yeah, of course. I remember, I think 2017, I was in the stadium with my mum and dad watching a game. I think Edison played, Kev, of course, is injured now. But yeah, coming onto the pitch in the same environment with the great fans we have, no, it was incredible.
Do you remember which game that was?
Yeah, so it was City Spurs, I think right before Christmas 2017. Kevin scored and dedicated his goal to David Silva, who had some family issues back home and missed the game, unfortunately. It was a dominant performance. I just fell in love with the stadium, the fans, everything.
Building on from your Premier League experience, you also, of course, got some minutes against Red Star Belgrade last week in the Champions League. How does it feel being part of the Champions League squad?
Obviously, all Champions League games usually being at night. It's a different atmosphere, you know. The kind of big show before the game. The general feeling is a bit more, not tense, but maybe there's a bit more excitement sometimes. And of course, back home in Norway, everyone watches Champions League. Premier League as well, but Champions League is like the biggest there is. It was a dream as well, so yeah, great.
Before you came on against Red Star, did Pep speak to you at all, and was anything specific said to you in terms of what to expect?
Where I was going to play, what he wanted me to do, how to affect the game or keep control, and yeah, just general instructions, I'd say.
And obviously you managed to get a really nice shot off in that game against the Serbians. It looks like you're feeling more and more confident as the minutes go by. Is that the case?
Yeah, I think it's natural. Being in every day, training with the group, you get to know them quick, and the greatest group, not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. I think it's a very natural thing to become more confident and relaxed, and yeah, I'd say I am more relaxed now.